Hey guys, so I did a thing. I bought $25 worth of Walmart returns and I've only looked at what's on top, and so let's see what I got. This is the box, and you probably can't tell from that scale, but this is basically what I saw of it when I got it. And so I'm gonna dump. Let's see here. I don't know what you guys can see, but that is a fairly substantial pile, like maybe a foot tall on the bench. And so I'm going to spare you guys from having me go through every last little thing on here. I'm going to take a look at it and get a summary of what I found. Okay, so I need to clear some of this stuff off. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick preview of what I have so far. So I have this on 10-foot tape measure, metric and standard. Obviously works fine, no breaks or anything like that. This mouse pad with a wrist rest was in there in the package, worked fine. The selfie stick worked fine. I mainly actually want it for the mount. I think I'm going to take this off, and then maybe I'll use the telescopic thing for one thing, and I might even use the Bluetooth part for something else. And I want this camera mount, so that's great. I haven't tested these yet. I got 4 USB-C cables. They all charge my phone. They all transfer data. To be honest, I mean, these thinner cables, especially this one's really thin, I would primarily use them for maker projects. Like some of the new boards are coming out with USB-C. So yeah, so I got 4 new cables there. I haven't tested the HDMI cables. I got 2 of those. I'll go ahead and test them before I give a final verdict. The USB-Cs, the micro USBs, I checked all these on the little battery thingies, and they all work great. I got one of these little, I never checked the amperage. This is a 2.4 amps USB to 12 volt adapter, and it works fine. Nice little blue LED. Ethernet cable works fine. We got this display port to HDMI adapter, plugged it into my system, works fine. USB standard cable works fine. 1/8 inch audio cable works fine. Screwdriver, kind of actually a chunky screwdriver. It's got this weird little piece of metal around here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so that's kind of sweet. That was in there. Got a level. I'm guessing this was part of some kind of TV mounting kit or something like that, but the level seems level enough. It's a little off, but it's close. Stud finder. Yep, stud finder works fine, obviously, just like my wife. This is the one of only 2 things that I've tested so far that's bad, and this is a broken, and I don't even know that it doesn't work, but it's a broken lightning cable. So in the place that it's broken makes it seem like it's actually an authentic Apple cable. I got this Targus, let me see here. I got this Targus 90 watt laptop power adapter. These signs actually draw a fair amount of power, and so they're kind of what I use for testing laptop power supplies all the time. I strung a bunch of letters together, and they all work. It's a normal 19 volt, and this thing only came with 4 adapters on it, but they're kind of the more common size. The one's going to work with Chromebooks and things like that. The bigger, chunkier one, I think this is the one that goes on the Lenovo's and stuff like that, and then kind of the more standard big laptop one. So all that's great, all works. The other thing I got, and I've tested a bunch of them, but I got a bunch of these like little 3,000 to 4,000 milliamp hour battery packs. They all work. They all seem to hold a charge. Only one, or I guess I should say, one of them doesn't work. One of them nothing shows up on. But the cool thing with this is that I'm most likely going to get something out of this. I'm either going to get an enclosure, I'm going to get an 18650 battery, or I'm going to get a charging circuit. And so if I crack this thing open and it turns out to be a bad battery, I'll take one out of an old laptop and put it in there. If the battery's good and the charging circuit's bad, then I'll steal the battery. So win-win for me on that. I got 5 of those, I think. And the other thing I got that isn't really worth testing, but I got a whole bunch of, by a whole bunch, I think there's like 4 of these old school cordless phones. And one of the things I do with these, let me grab this one, is, I know this is kind of a dumb use, but a lot of times what I do is I take the lithium battery packs out of them, because they're usually pretty good quality, and I'll actually use the phone as a temporary charger. So, if I'm building something and I want this little battery pack, I'll actually use the phone base to charge it, and then when I go into a real project with it, then I'll get a charger for that battery pack. But so yeah, I got a bunch of little batteries, and they all seem to, everything seems to at least power up. And then with those, I got five 6-volt cords here that are great to replace 4 AA's, 4 AAA's, something like that. So anyway, that is where I'm at. I am in the process, and so far so good. Okay, so I had 10 of these spools of LEDs, and how many of them do you think worked? I'll give you a second to take a guess. How about, let me make sure that's the right way. How about all of them? Every single pixel on every single LED roll worked. And you've got all the remotes, you've got all the different controllers. You also have these 2 that are made for being musically sensitive, and this one that is somehow made to control to an app. I haven't played with this one, but all of this works. And if you've watched my previous videos, I guess I did one on LEDs, you can probably guess why these were returned. And I think it has to do with the packaging. The fact that they show these with a red LED next to a blue LED next to a purple LED, and these lights don't do that. Every single one of these are on the same color at the same time, and if you look at them real closely, which you won't be able to see, but there's a green trace, a red trace, and a blue trace. These are not what they call individually addressable. So, but they're still very useful to me. I use them all the time in projects, and I use IR stuff from the Arduino to control them. So that's fantastic with me. We also got this 2.4 amp on charger, and this other one's kind of cool. It's a Blackweb 4.8, and it's kind of neat because it has this rotating plug, but this works fine. So you can go that way, you can go that way, you can go at an angle. You've got 2 ports down here. So again, like, I would never go out and buy this thing, but it's kind of nice to have. One thing I failed to mention so far is that I have been throwing out all the earbuds. I'm not interested in somebody else's earwax and stuff like that. These look okay, like these don't even really look like they've been used, but the package has been open, so none of these are very quality. They're all kind of off-brand things, so I'm just chucking them. All right, winding down a little bit, we've got some LED bulbs, and these said they were damaged on the package, but I'm gonna guess that they didn't realize that they were these push and twist bases. I'm gonna guess that they thought it was something other than the GU10, that it was just the normal kind of push in, and that's my guess. I highly doubt that these don't work. Then, speaking of not working, we do have this pack of DVD-Rs that do have some weird defects. I don't know if you can see it on the edge there, but there's some real weird defects on these. But so I'm going to chuck those out. But these look fine. These are ones that look like they're CDRs. They look like vinyl records. I actually still use CDs and DVDs all the time for installing operating systems on old computers and things like that. So I'm going to hang on to these. That's fantastic. We also got, this one's kind of got some shmoo that I think I can get off. But I got 2 of these wireless charging phone stands. You can kind of stand your phone up on this thing, and it or use it as a mouse pad or whatever. It's kind of a weird design. I don't have a wireless charging capable phone here, but I plugged them both in and they light up and they seem to be doing something. So I'm going to grab my wife's phone when she gets home and I'll test those. Maybe I'll put in the description if they worked or not. But even if they didn't work as is, I would rip these apart and steal the wireless charging stuff out of them. So I consider that a win. I also got another one just like this, but it's white. This one's black, and it came with actually a decent quality lightning cable, which my wife just got a new iPhone, so she'll be happy to have another cable. So I'm plugging right along. I keep feeling like I'm going to run out of stuff, but I don't. I got this mouse, and I only plugged it in for a couple of minutes, and it does look like it's charging. It didn't seem to charge enough to work on its own. So when I have it plugged in, it works fine, and I can use a battery pack. The dongle's actually right here, so it does work wirelessly. Yeah, I'll have to, I think this works. I know it works when it's got battery, so there may be a bad battery in here. There may not be. I'll do a little more charging on that. I did test both the HDMI cables. They worked great. Oops, dropped a water bottle. I got 2 of these Blackweb microphones, and they are not very good quality, but they both work, and they both work fine. The mute buttons work, the volume controls work. They're great. This micro USB 2.4 amp car adapter works fine. I'd probably use it for something Arduino related. This thing, I actually use a Sony one of these. The idea behind this is you can plug a normal pair of headphones into it, and it turns them Bluetooth. And you might say, well, why not just get Bluetooth headphones? But I ride my bike a lot, and there's certain types of headphones that I like. It doesn't matter as much on the regular bike, although I've kind of gotten used to this. I like having this thing clipped to my shirt where I can just fast forward and it's always in the same exact spot. The real time when I need this is I also have a recumbent trike, and so the thing with that is most Bluetooth headphones are designed to kind of go behind your head, and it bangs into the headrest. So I really like having something like this. Like I said, I've used the Sony one. I use it every day, and then this one, I plugged it in. It seems to work fine. I've been able to pair it and listen to it, and it sounds fine. It probably won't hold up as well as the Sony one, but it's good. The next thing is I already had a bunch of these radios left over from Alaska, but everybody up there bought them. But I did get these things. The only headphones I decided to keep because they hadn't been out of the package are these surveillance headphones, and basically they're made to look like little CIA headphones with microphones. You can choose to make them push to talk or just always on. And so yeah, they work really good. I tested them with these radios, and they're fantastic. So again, like so far I've got 3 things that haven't worked. I've got a battery, a lightning cable, and one more thing that I'm sure I'll pop into my mind, but those DVDs. So really doing well so far. A couple extra headphone things. These work. They're not super bright, but these little LED glasses, they'd be kind of fun at my next rave. You can flash them and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, they work. And so we're getting to the home stretch. I've got one more pile of stuff to check out. I didn't say it was a small pile of stuff. In fact, there's some stuff outside of the camera. This is kind of funny. So my big 42-inch plasma in the office that kind of sits down the end where my wife plays video games, and I'll watch some football on Sundays on it and stuff like that. It's a Samsung TV, and for some reason in the box was just this actual remote that goes with that TV with batteries in it. So it's kind of nice. I have one over there for her, and now there's one on my desk. We're always searching to try to figure out where that remote went to, so now there can be one both places. That's just a blessing, man. That's just awesome to, like, you know, just kind of a really cool throw-in to have another factory remote for that thing. And it did come with a universal remote also. I think it's giant, and it actually does seem to work. But you know, to have the factory one and just have it work and be clean and all that stuff is awesome. So that's I'm happy about that. There's I would definitely do some cleaning. In fact, I'm gonna look at these things. I haven't even really touched them, but like, so this one still has the stickers on there, but there's all these different you know, VR goggle things. I'm gonna give these away. Whoever wants them, you know, like, I'll find people that can have them. But these still have the protective covers on the lenses. So but I'm gonna, you know, put some alcohol on them, make sure nobody gets any pink eye or anything like that. So this is a Tizumi, and I like it. Each one's individually focusable, which is kind of cool. I was a big fan of Google Cardboard when it came out. Let's take a look at this one. This is the Dream Vision Pro Virtual Reality. Same thing, individually adjustable. Yeah, this one's got, I mean, the lenses have definitely been looked through, so I'm going to clean these off and give this one away. Let's see, we got, this one is another Tizumi one. This one's still got the protective film on both sides, so new in the package. Yeah, I'll give that one away. Let's see here, we have, so I guess there's 5 of them. So there's this Fibrum, which, again, I knew nothing about these things. 25 apps included. Let's take a look. So it's got a lens cleaner. Okay, so this is a little smaller one. Not quite as giant. I've said on the channel many times my wife is a teacher, so this is the kind of thing that we can just give away in a little prize box or something like that. So Very cool. There's another one there, and then this one is the. So I don't really know. This is the Dream Vision Pro, and the Dream Vision Pro. Oh, this one has some Bluetooth stuff in there. So it's got like a little nunchuck thing. Let's take a look at that. Let's see on the side. It says damaged. We'll see. I may hang on to this one just for the Bluetooth thing if it's in there. I don't. Oh yeah, here it is. I may see if I can. This doesn't even look like it's been out of the package. Like, I mean, I think the odds of this thing being damaged. I mean, the stickers are still on the lenses. Stickers are still here. The nunchuck was still in the package. You know, the cable's never been unfurled. Yeah. So another one of those things. So 5 of those. I know they're not worth a whole lot, but to some kids, they'll be happy to have them. Maybe I'll take them to Africa with me, something like that. I don't know if this game. I don't have an Xbox 360. This came. This Kinect Motorsports, Motion Sports Play for Real thing, still in the package. So I don't know. I'll give that away. And finally, this thing. I don't really know what this is. I probably should have looked it up. This is the Aria's Adventure Augmented Reality Interactive Applications. So I haven't opened this yet. So, ooh, wow. Okay, so this is still sealed. This is a this is an intense VR goggle thing here. I don't know what those old pads are. I guess extra pads. Sweet. Oh yeah, that's a really nice feeling pad on the front of that, and all this stuff. So all these cards are sealed, and from what I'm gathering, like if you put, it looks like from the package maybe, you put these things down and they kind of come to life, and it doesn't look like you actually have to look through the VR goggles to see it. It looks like you can see it on some kind of pad or something like that. So all this stuff is sealed, and I mean this is sealed, or it was sealed, or not put together at least. So I think if I look around, that is the extent of my $25 Walmart haul. So let me know what you think.